So you want to live life as a digital nomad, live in Bali, meet all these interesting people, and never have to worry about your income again? Well, you have to start somewhere, and that's on the flight to Bali. You can spend anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 for a ticket just to get there. Round trip, that is, if you ever plan on coming back. Or you can watch the rest of this video and find out how you can get there for free. Before we get into it, leave a comment down below telling me where you want to travel for free. I'm Jacob Fisher, and let's get to it. I think it's fairly obvious where I'm going with this, and yes, I'm talking about crowdfunding to go to Bali. Way cheaper than purchasing it yourself. Easy. Just kidding. Getting a credit card that rewards your spending with miles is the way to fly for cheap. Finding the right credit card depends entirely on your spending habits. If you want an airline-specific card because you fly a specific airline, go ahead and get that one. But if you want to be able to transfer your points to other partners, then a card like the Amex Gold or Chase Sapphire might be the one for you. We're going to break down some of the airline-specific cards though, and what bonuses they have to offer right now. Like in the last video, you look at your budget and you see where you're spending the most of it. If you buy groceries more than eating out, try to find a card that rewards a grocery store purchase like the Amex Gold card, which is 4 times points on grocery store visits. Up to $25,000 a year in purchases. That's still 100,000 points you could be earning. Of course, you'd have to spend $25,000 on groceries in a single year. I don't do that. I know I've mentioned the card twice, but don't worry, I don't have it. I don't have a referral link down below. I don't get anything from mentioning it. I'm just tossing that one out there because it's one that I've been looking at. Let's get back to the Bali example. You can fly to Bali from Denver. Everything will be flying out of Denver for this situation, but that's because it's my airport. If your airport closest to you is maybe Philadelphia, Miami, then the flights might be a different price. Through United, it's going to cost you 80,000 miles and $102.65 in fees. Delta is 92,000 miles and $52.85 in fees. For main cabin, Comfort Plus is 100,000 miles. Delta One suites are 615,000 miles to fly to Bali. This is round trip, both of them. United was 300,000 miles for that first class. But Jacob, I don't have that kind of miles right now. What am I supposed to do? I'm glad you asked. Currently, you have welcome offers such as 60,000 miles for the United Explorer after spending $3,000 in 3 months, or 75,000 miles for the United Club, and anywhere from 15,000 miles to 100,000 miles with various Amex Delta cards. That'll cover your trip to Bali. Let's break down this further and make sure I get the information right. The United Explorer offers 2 miles per dollar spent on United, 2 miles per dollar spent on restaurants and hotels. Sidebar. Yes, I know the Chase Sapphire and Sapphire Reserve offer you better points per dollar spent, but we're talking about airline-specific cards right now, and that's what we're going to look at. Anyways, you get 1 mile per $1 spent on all other purchases. 2 United Club one-time passes. After opening on each anniversary, you get that, so you can enjoy the United Club with your little pass. Free first check bag, priority boarding, $100 credit for global entry and pre-check. That's perfect. I think everybody should be using pre-check. It's so much quicker, plus you don't have to take off your shoes. 25% back on United in-flight purchases and no foreign transaction fees. Actually, all the cards I mentioned don't have foreign transaction fees, so consider that a bonus for when you're living in Bali. Annual fee of $95. Well, there's that card. Is it for you? Maybe. Let's go for the United Club card. That gets you 2 miles per dollar spent on United and 1.5 miles per dollar spent on all other purchases. Gives you 75,000 miles after spending 3,000 on purchases in 3 months. It also gets you a United Club membership. Sidebar, Chase needs to offer a United Club membership for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Like the Amex Platinum, you get the Centurion Lounge and you get access to Delta Sky Club when flying Delta. Anyway, first and second check bag free. Premier Access Travel Services, which is sort of like priority check-in and a concierge you can talk to. 25% back on United in-flight purchases, and again, no foreign transaction fees, with a $450 annual fee. That's a little steep considering the benefits that you get. Now, I know if you've been introduced into the credit card world, you know that American Express has brought out a whole new slew of Delta cards, coming from the blue to gold, platinum, and reserve. The SKYMILES Blue card gives you 15,000 bonus miles after $1,000 in purchases after 3 months, 2 miles per dollar spent at restaurants and Delta purchases, and 1 mile on everything else. All the cards, again, give you 1 mile for everything else on these purchases that I'm going to mention. You get 20% back in flight, and, well, no, fine. We're just going to stop mentioning that one. There's no annual fee for this card. The SKYMILES Gold, 70,000 bonus miles after $2,000 spent in 3 months. That gives you 2 miles at restaurants, supermarkets, and Delta purchases. You get your first bag checked free, $100 Delta flight credit. You can only get that if you spend $10,000 in a year. Then they just give it to you. Otherwise, you don't get it. Priority boarding, secondary car rental insurance. $0 for the annual fee, and then $99 for the year after that. Not done yet. The SKYMILES Platinum, 80,000 bonus miles after $3,000 spent, plus 20,000 miles after your first anniversary. It gives you 3 times miles on hotels and Delta purchases, 2 times at restaurants and supermarkets. You get your first checked bag free, priority boarding, companion certificate, which is a 1 domestic round-trip main cabin. It's sort of like the companion pass for Southwest, except it's just a single-use scenario. You don't actually get a year of free flying like you do with Southwest. You get global entry pre-check fee credit and $39 Delta Sky Club access. Also status boost to help achieve status faster on Delta. 20% back in in-flight purchases, various insurances like I mentioned before, and the fee is $250 a year. Okay, last one, the Delta SKYMILES Reserve. Sounds a little bit similar to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but 80,000 bonus miles after $3,000 spent, plus 20,000 miles after the first anniversary, and 20,000 medallion qualifying miles after $5,000 is spent in 3 months. That will give you a nice little status boost if you need that on Delta because you don't fly them too much. It gives you 3 miles per dollar spent on Delta flights and Delta vacations. You get Delta Sky Club access, Centurion Lounge access, the companion certificate again, global entry pre-check, credit, upgrade priority, complimentary upgrades, first check bag free, priority boarding, 20% back in flight, more insurances, no transaction fees, foreign, and $550 annual fee. That's the hefty one, which is interesting because they don't give you 2 times points at restaurants. It's like they're trying to hold you back a little bit there. Now that you have all that information chucked at you, let's try to simplify it down with 2 questions. Do you fly Delta or United more? If you fly Delta more, get that one. If you fly United more, get that one. See where I'm going with this? If maybe your airport is a Delta hub, that would be perfect. If your airport, like Denver, is a United hub, that one's good too. Next question, do you want lounge access? This is more of a preference question. Do you want lounge access or do you just want to sit in the airport with everybody else? If you answer yes, you want lounge access, then get the SKYMILES Reserve. If you answer yes and you fly United, get the United Club Pass. That's pretty simple. That's kind of all you need to look at it. As for the United and you don't want lounge access, that means you get the Explorer card. If you fly Delta a lot, then I'd recommend the Platinum because you get rewarded for so much more of your spending. You get everything as gold plus a little bit extra points. That's kind of nice. So if I had to choose a card from Delta, which I won't because the United hub is in Denver, then I'd go with the Platinum just because you get so much more benefit out of it. If I had to choose a United club, I'd probably just go with the Explorer. You get more at restaurants, which is generally what I'm doing, and you still get access to the United Club Lounge if you really want to get in. Though I will say, the Delta Reserve in purple, well, that thing looks pretty sweet. That alone might be worth getting the card. After hitting the welcome offer, you should have enough points to go to Bali and stay there until your digital nomad career takes off. And if it doesn't, you've always got that return trip booked. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below about which card is your favorite. Or if you're just going to avoid all these cards, I'll respond to them all.